Welcome into WCC All-Access. I'm Ezra Broder. Coming up, one of the most memorable shots and games in the history of the men's Final Four. We relive the Zags' magical run to the national title game. Plus, for the second year in a row, a BYU cross-country team can call itself a national champion. This time, the women bring home the hardware. And we look back at the drama that was the UCU WCC basketball tournament, including Gonzaga's buzzer beater to win the championship. But first, Gonzaga's quest for perfection comes to an end. The men made the Final Four for the second time in 4 years before ultimately losing in the national championship game. But the Zags made one of the most memorable shots and played one of the most memorable games in Final Four history.
What a great college basketball game, and to do it on the biggest stage is just awesome, and to come out with the win. I mean, I know we had a lucky half quarter at the end, but both teams battled and dug as deep, I think, as they could, and it was quite a chess match going on out there, and you know, we had the last possession, and like I said, we're lucky enough to hit a 50-footer. So it helps when you have a magical, special guy like Jalen, especially at the end of games.
I got as many dribbles as I can, you know, tried to get as close as I could. He was actually like right under me. I mean, I just put it up. I was fading away with it, and dude, it went off the backboard and in, and I don't know. I've always wanted to run up on the table and, you know, like Kobe and D-Wade and go like that. And I mean, that's the first thing I did. But stuff like this is something that you dream of as a kid and that you practice on your mini hoop. But it's a great shot. I mean, crazy shot. You know, it was special. But I mean, man, I can't say enough about this group. The way that everyone fought all night long. That was one of the most special games I've ever been a part of, you know, in any sport. And man, it was crazy. This is one I know I'm gonna look back on, you know, in a while and just, you know, rewatch.
He makes shots. He's got that magical aura. He makes them in practice, you know, all the time. It's been crazy this year how many he's made in practice where we're last second shots. So I felt pretty good. I was staring right at it, and I was like, that's in. So, and it was.
Gonzaga's trip to the Final Four was the 6th time a WCC team has reached that stage in the history of the conference. In 1952, Santa Clara reached the Final Four before losing to a Kansas team led by Dean Smith and coached by the legendary Phog Allen. The WCC was formed later that year. 3 years later, one of the greatest dynasties in basketball history reigned supreme. The San Francisco Dons made 3 straight Final Fours, winning 2 national titles with Hall of Famers Bill Russell and Casey Jones, and won a then-record 60 straight games. And 4 years ago, Gonzaga reached the Final Four for the first time in program history. Led by 6 future NBA players, the Bulldogs knocked off South Carolina to advance to the national championship, where they were a few minutes away from winning it all, eventually falling to North Carolina. A total of 8 WCC teams participated in the postseason, 4 men and 4 women, with 2 of each playing in the Big Dance. On the men's side, BYU earned a 6th seed in the NCAA tournament. The Cougars lost to UCLA, who we just saw would lose to the Zags in the Final Four. St. Mary's played in the NIT, making the postseason for the 14th straight year. The Gales fell to Western Kentucky in the opening round. One team ended its season with a win. The Pepperdine men won the CBI title. Kessler Edwards was named tournament MVP, and Colby Ross finished his career as the only Division I player with over 2,200 points, 800 assists, and 400 rebounds. The BYU women made some noise as an 11 seed in the NCAA tournament, knocking off 6-seeded Rutgers before dropping a heartbreaker to Arizona, who would go on to play in the national title game. The Gonzaga women made the Big Dance for the 12th time, and tied for the highest seed in program history as a 5. The Zags fell to 12th-seeded Belmont in the first round. USF played in the WNIT, beating Houston in the first round before falling to Cal Baptist in the round of 16. And Portland competed in the WBI, winning a few games before coming up short in the title game. Time to take a break. When we come back, we go down the coast to see what's making headlines around the conference. And another year, another cross-country national title. This time, it's the BYU women who brought home the hardware. We talk with the Cougars up next. This episode of WCC All-Access is brought to you in part by Nike, Just Do It, and University Credit Union, who invites WCC alumni and fans to bank with your brain and open an account today. We're back on WCC All-Access. I'm Ezra Broder. It's time to go down the coast and see what's making headlines around the conference. Let's start in Portland, where the Pilots have a new men's basketball coach. Shante Leggins is the new man in charge. He comes to the Bluff after 4 years as the head coach of Eastern Washington. He led the Eagles to the NCAA tournament this season and leaves the program as the winningest coach in program history. A former Portland coach is being honored in the sport of soccer. The Soccer Collective on Racial Equality, or SCORE, is naming its new hiring initiative after the late Clive Charles. He was the longtime men's and women's soccer head coach at UP. The Clive Charles Diversity Hiring Initiative is an opt-in pledge for Division I men's soccer programs to include black candidates in their pool for coaching jobs. Speaking of legendary soccer coaches, two of the best reached major career milestones. Santa Clara's Jerry Smith became just the third D1 women's soccer coach to reach 500 wins. In his 34 years at the helm, the Broncos have won 11 WCC titles, made 29 NCAA tournaments, 10 college cups, and won the 2001 NCAA title. In Provo, Jen Rockwood is up to 400 wins and counting. The only women's soccer coach in BYU history, she became the 14th person in D1 history to reach that mark. Rockwood is a 4-time WCC Coach of the Year and has led the Cougars to the Elite Eight 3 times. Congrats! In same school, different sport. BYU's Gordon Eakin earned his 700th career win in early April. In 19 seasons as the softball head coach, his Cougars have won 13 conference titles, including 11 in a row, and all 6 since the WCC started sponsoring the sport in 2014. Way to go! In 2019, the BYU women placed second at the NCAA Cross Country Championship. This season, the Cougars finished the job. BYU won its 5th national title in program history after outrunning the competition in March.
The Cougars of BYU are the national champs, and talk about depth. 5 in the top 34.
And joining us now is Anna Camp-Bennett, the top finisher for BYU at the national championship. And Anna, can you just describe the moment when you realized you won the national title?
It was really awesome. There was, like, for cross country, right, it takes a second to tally up the scores and stuff, and I had looked up on the board and I'm like, I don't know if this is official, but like, it looks like we won. And so then the moment that it was actually 100% confirmed, it was so exciting. It was so many, like, years of work, and the whole, it feels like this has been coming since the whole pandemic started. So yeah, it was very emotional, super cool, very fun.
Last season, you finished second as a team. How much did that motivate you all season to win it all this year?
I think hugely. They're definitely just getting that little taste of it, but like so close but so far type of a thing definitely was a big motivating factor all year. We don't like to really talk about our goals too explicitly, but there were definitely like little whispers here and there, like, oh, that'd be super cool. We were so close last year, and so that was a big motivating factor for sure.
San Francisco finished second in 2017, which was the highest finish for a WCC school at the time. And then you guys finished second last year. And now the first women's cross-country title in WCC history. What does this win mean for the conference as a whole?
I think it means a lot, and I think the WCC has done an excellent job, especially with the pandemic, of pushing to make sure that we can do things and have races and have events. And I think that shows with how well the teams competed and things like that. And so I think it's huge for WCC, and it really shows just how well like everybody's done with that.
Being your senior year, does it make it any more special for you to sort of go out on top?
Yeah, definitely as a senior, having gone through Coach Taylor's program for now, I guess this is my 5th year in it. It meant a lot because I feel like for me, part of it, the win, reflects on Coach Taylor so much, and it was really cool to be able to be part of getting her that win, because she's done so much for all of us. And that's one thing that I love about her is when I do get on the line, I know that like she cares just as much as I do, if not more, and she has given just as much as I have, if not more. And so to be able to kind of do that for her was huge for me personally. She's really awesome, and so I was really happy for her as well.
The BYU men weren't able to defend their national title, but their top runner staked his claim as the best in the country. Junior Connor Mantz crossed the finish line first, becoming the first WCC runner to win an individual title.
He just welcomed the rest of the NCAA to the Mantz zone. Connor Mantz, the first American man to win the NCAA individual cross-country title since 2008, wins it for BYU.
So, Connor, you won the individual title by 22 seconds. When did you realize that you had it in the bag, and what did it feel like when you crossed the finish line first?
So I didn't feel like I really knew I had it in the bag till about 200 meters to go. Initially, I knew I had a really good shot with probably a half mile to go, but I feel like sometimes you never know what's going to happen in a race, and so I didn't want to be too confident in myself. So it wasn't until 200 meters to go I was like, okay, like I won it, I'm fine, I can just enjoy the moment. And then crossing the finish line was, it was surreal. It was something I have worked towards for so long that when it finally happened, it was just like, did this really just happen? Like, am I gonna wake up tomorrow morning and like, or am I gonna wake up and it's like still race day? Like, it's kind of felt like a dream, and so it was just a really cool experience overall.
When you did cross that finish line, you became the first WCC runner to win an individual title. What does that mean to you, especially given the history of this conference?
Yeah, given the history of this conference, it means a ton. I didn't know I was the first one to do it. I would have expected, somebody to do it from one of the other schools beforehand or whatnot. I mean, there's been so much great history in the WCC as far as cross country goes. So to be the first person to win an individual cross country title in the WCC it's kind of a cool thing to do, and it's cool because there's a lot of up and coming runners also in the WCC. So to be the first to do it, that's kind of exciting.
So as a team, you guys have won a WCC title every year that you've been running. You've won back-to-back WCC individual titles. You've won a national championship as a team and as an individual. What's next on your list? What have you not accomplished yet?
As far as running goes as a whole, I want to make the Olympics this year, and then in the future. But in cross country, that's about like the most I think you can accomplish in college. Maybe try to make the world championships in a couple of years. As far as cross country goes, make some world championship teams and compete with the best in the world.
Portland junior Sophia Castiglioni also brought back a trophy from the cross country national championships. She was the recipient of the NCAA's Elite 90 award. That's given to the competitor at every championship with the highest cumulative GPA. The biology major has a perfect 4.0 GPA. The last WCC student-athlete to win this award was Nigel Williams-Goss of Gonzaga men's basketball in 2017. Congrats to Sophia. When we come back, what's trending on social media? We take a look at the best tweets and posts. And it was a game for the ages. We recap the UCU WCC women's basketball tournament title match that went down to the final second. That's up next. This episode comes to you courtesy of Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com. And Shamrock Office Solutions, delivering Ricoh digital copier and IT solutions to the Bay Area for over 19 years. Here are some of the best moments on social media. The Jalen Suggs buzzer beater pretty much broke the internet. The freshman jumped on the scorer's table to celebrate and said he always wanted to do that like Dwayne Wade. Well, D-Wade replied on Twitter saying he jumped on his own kitchen table when Suggs hit that shot. How cool. Speaking of cool, how about realizing your dream of playing in the NBA? former St. Mary's star Malik Fitz signed a 10-day contract with the LA Clippers. He's the first Gale to make his NBA debut since Matthew Dellavedova in 2014. It's trophy time. This photo says it all. The BYU women claimed the WCC volleyball title after playing as a team and winning as a team. The Cougars now have 7 conference titles since joining the WCC in 2011. On the pitch, Santa Clara takes the WCC women's soccer title for the 11th time. The 13th ranked Broncos didn't lose a match in conference play this season. And on the men's side, LMU claims the crown for the first time since 2013 after finishing undefeated. And, as they tweeted, we always understood the assignment. Welcome back to WCC All-Access. I'm Ezra Broder. Every basketball player dreams of hitting the game-winning shot to win the championship, right? Well, that actually happened at this year's UCU WCC Women's Basketball Tournament. Top-seeded Gonzaga had its prayers answered at the buzzer by Jill Townsend. Our Nicole Zalumis was there to recap the action.
Townsend. What an unbelievable finish for Gonzaga as they take home the UCU WCC Championship in buzzer-beating fashion. Jill Townsend sealed the 43-42 victory over BYU, punching the Zags' ticket to the tourney. They were the only 2 points for Townsend during this game, a game that she almost missed, as she and several other Gonzaga players were dealing with a stomach bug for the last 24 hours. But if we've learned anything in playing basketball through a pandemic, you have to adjust and make the most of what you have, and that's exactly what the Zags did to win the championship.
I'm kind of speechless right now. It got iffy there for a bit. It definitely wasn't our prettiest game, definitely wasn't BYU's prettiest game, but it was stress. I was stressed the entire game, but I guess that last second shot kind of made it worth it. I could forget about how stressed it was. But yeah, I am actually speechless for like once in my life.
I just feel so much happiness for these guys because they really battled. Townie had one basket, and it was the most important one we could get, and she was about to throw up the whole day. I don't know if everybody knows, but it's been a long day for our team, and so I'm just really proud of these guys.
Shoot me straight, did you think of the Michael Jordan flu game?
I did. I was like, oh, it's going to be great. I'm going to be like 40 points, like here we go. Didn't happen, but I want to have it any other way, I don't think.
You want the game winner.
I mean, what's better than that?
One more block to go. Coming up, we look ahead at the calendar at some key events on the horizon. And we look back at Gonzaga's comeback win at the UCU WCC Men's Basketball Tournament. That's up next when we return. You're watching this episode thanks to our sponsors. Heffernan Insurance, because you're different. And Don Francisco's Coffee. Premium quality, great tasting, family crafted coffee since 1870. Backed by 150 years of coffee roasting expertise for a perfect cup every time. Here's what to watch for in the coming weeks. It's championship season. There are 4 WCC tournaments still to be played. The Women's Golf Championship is at Reflection Bay Golf Course outside of Las Vegas in late April. The following week, the men compete for the conference crown at the same location. While that's going on, LMU tries to defend its WCC beach volleyball title. That championship takes place in Southern California. And finally, the WCC Rowing Championship moves to Vancouver, Washington this year. The trophy will be given out on May 15th. Gonzaga has won 5 straight and 6 of the last 7 conference titles. We're back on WCC All-Access. I'm Ezra Broder. Before the NCAA tournament, the Gonzaga men had business to take care of. They entered the UCU WCC tournament title game with a perfect 25-0 record. But BYU gave the Zags everything they had. Let's take a look back.
Here he is. Behind the back dribble for 3. Yes! Stop it, Dave. Are you kidding me?
I've been dreaming of playing in March, college basketball in March all my life. I've been practicing on my little Tykes hoop, these exact moments, these exact situations. And for all of them, to play out tonight, it was crazy, kind of going back and thinking about it.
Well, hey, listen, it ended up being a great ball game. I want to give BYU just a ton of credit. They really took the fight to us. especially in that first 20 minutes, and we couldn't stop them. They had us on roller skates. I'm proud of us. We needed a game like that. We hit some adversity, and we got punched in the face, and we got together at halftime and just got back to sticking with the plan, and the guys came out and played fantastic defense in the second half, and obviously our offense got going because of our defense, and we were able to get a good win.
This was great. This whole season has been a challenge, but every single one of us on the roster and on the coaching staff have answered to it. We all come in every day ready to work, and it was so much fun out there tonight. Like Coach said, we needed one of those, and just to let us know that anybody can be beat on any given night. So we got to come out and hoop. But the way we stuck together and the way everybody kept, each other motivated, and the talk, especially that we had in the second half, I think that's the best talk that we've had all year. Honestly, man, I haven't stopped smiling since the confetti started falling. So no, it was a great night.
That'll do it. Thank you for watching WCC All Access. We leave you now with some of the best plays from the last few weeks of action. See you next time.
Perhaps a change of pace can win it. We shall see. It's a lovely touch, and it's in. This for the win. Turnbow rounds the keeper, and Kelsey Turnbow has won it for Santa Clara.
Overpass. Isadora. Oh, what a save by Whitney Bauer. San Diego Fiat is blocked. What a rally and play.
Starogo in front, sent into the box. Lapina comes out, and it is in the net. Noel Kaliskin has scored, and the Lions are just a minute and 40 seconds away from a West Coast Conference championship.
Back from Thurman and the one strike pitch. This one is hit in the air, center field. Going back is Allen to the warning track, leaps and makes the catch up against the fence.
We've seen him run it up over 90 before. This one is ripped out to right field. Grossman coming in. He lost it. He lost it in the sun. It went over his head. Here's the throw home from Casillas. The play at the plate is not in time.
This episode was brought to you in part by Reveal Suits, the official business apparel partner of the West Coast Conference. It's what's inside. Visit revealsuits.com. And Signature Championship Rings. Your success set in stone.